This table in my bedroom is one of my favorite places, and it's not just what's on it, but what's hidden underneath. So almost a year ago, I had this idea that I should write a letter to myself before I turned 40 so that I could read it to myself on my 40th birthday and see what had changed, what had come true, what I manifest. I don't know. It was an idea that I think I got from Catherine Manning, but I could be wrong. I love her. She has lots of good ideas, so you should probably check her out anyway if you're not already. Anyway, life has been really hard lately, and I realized that I haven't gone back and reread the letter, but I know that what's in it is not exactly who I am now, if that makes sense. And so I was thinking about it, and on my 40th, I don't want to open this letter, read it to myself, and be like, that's not even who you are anymore. Maybe that'll be good for some growth, but like, I think I want to write another letter. So today we are going to open that letter up, we're going to read it, and we're going to rewrite it, because I already can tell you there are multiple things in it that are just not a part of future Lynn anymore. Here it is. This is the letter. It's been hidden. It's nice and flat. Let's go read it. And I do feel like the point of this exercise is supposed to be that you write something down and you forget about it, and then you work towards it. I don't know how you would forget about it and work towards it at the same time, but regardless, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to stay like sealed, but it's not. And that is a choice I'm willing to make. If you are writing letters to your future self, that's a choice you get to make. I am 40 years old, and I am a stay-at-home mom who also has a large presence on social media. I encourage people to try new things. I bring them with on our adventures, and I make an abundant living financially from it. We own a home on Lake Schaefer that we summer at. We are invited to go places and try things for free because of our presence. We have enough money that we fly to places around the country without much trouble at all. We go to Disney at least once a year and are buying our homestead soon. We know that all of these things are gifts from God, who loves us and blesses us more than we ask to or deserve. We are a close-knit family who are kind, generous, honest, loyal, and fun. The best is yet to come. And actually, I thought I wrote this like a year ago. It turns out I wrote it October 7th, 2021. Told myself to read it October 23rd, 2024. So more than a year. There are more than a couple parts of this that I love. Being a family that is close-knit, kind, generous, honest, loyal, and fun. Yes. The best is yet to come. Yes. Kind of laughable to think that just a couple years ago I was like, we're gonna be jet setting around the world because I'm on social media. I would love for that to still happen, and I'm gonna knock on that door until it answers, but we ain't there yet. Also, since Caroline's diagnosis, it's kind of like put some things into perspective, and not only her diagnosis, but just growing as an individual over the past few years. I don't want a house on Lake Schaefer. No offense to Lake Schaefer. I love you, Lake Schaefer. You're wonderful. If somebody were to be like, here's a lake house, absolutely, yes, I will summer there all the time. But lately, I want to go somewhere else. If I'm gonna have like a secondary home, I want it to be like away, not like an hour away. Although I guess an hour away would be good, but maybe I don't want to like fully summer there either. I don't know. Let's start the new letter. Yes, we are using computer paper. It's fine. Dear future self, boy, have things changed. And yet, much has stayed the same. I'm working on myself more and thinking less about the things I once would have fought hard for. Our family is still close-knit, honest, loyal, generous, and fun, but we also now have experienced a lot of loss. Loved ones, friends, parents, freedom, innocence. We have made choices based on health instead of convenience and prioritized preservation over pride. My hope for you is that you read this in peace, that the bills are paid, food is in the kitchen, and your loved ones are in good health. We hope for a passive income, not to be wealthy, but to afford time together, less stress, and the ability to be more generous. Our presence on social media is one that brings joy and hope and realness to the world. We trust in God, not paper or this world. We care for people and each other. This peace and self-assurance allows us time, memories, and the ability to choose to chase dreams. This is 40. Love, Lynn Marie. Well, that feels a little bit more natural, a little bit more like who I am right now, and a lot less like the ideology that you need all these things and you need all this money and you need to be seen and recognized to accomplish things or to be successful, because it's just not true. So if you are thinking about starting a letter to yourself, I want you to make sure that you're giving yourself appropriate amounts of grace. Go back, read it, make changes, know what you're working on, know what you're working towards. A goal without a dream is just a wish. So how are you supposed to keep that dream in front of you if you fold it up, put it under a jewelry box, and forget about it? And how are you going to handle it if you've changed and those dreams no longer apply? If it's just that the dream hasn't happened yet by that deadline, that's okay. You can always set a new deadline. You can always give yourself more time. So like, yeah, I want to be debt-free. Yeah, I would love for people to contact us and be like, hey, come on out, shoot some video, and like, we'll pay your way and all that. That would be fantastic. Any takers? But that's not necessarily what my life is about. I do not want to be tied to commitments. I want to be able to say, hey, we're having a bad day and we're going to stay in bed today. I want to be able to work from home. I want to be my own boss, essentially. And that stuff comes with more of like a passive income, which is a whole other topic, and I am not qualified to preach on that one, so we're going to leave that alone. But the big thing is to give yourself grace. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change. You're allowed to change your mind. And as often as you need to write yourself these letters, I think that I find it very therapeutic to write to myself, because I don't talk that way to myself. Never in my mind am I like, oh, dear future Lynn, my hope is that you read this in peace. I'm more like, hey, if you don't get your head out of your ass, you're not going to have peace. So get out there and work. Go do something. Which isn't always bad, but I think you do need a mixture of the two. So the current plan is to revisit this letter in October, which is now like 6 months away. We'll see what happens. We may revisit it sooner, we may not. Either way, I will bring you with. If you are writing yourself a letter, let me know. Drop it in the comments. I mean, you don't have to drop your letter, but if you want to just be like, hey, I'm trying this, I think that would be super cool. And then if you decide to post yourself reading your letter, shoot me a tag, because I think that would be super cool to see. Okay, let's put you, if you'll stick. My walls don't like things to stick to them. There you go. You've joined the galley wall. Here's to being the us we want to be, and may we like ourselves when we get there. Bye.